7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Playing fake, and Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. But Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls up and buries the flag.
Richardson tries, not for Robbie Ryan.
Her three right on the money.
Daniels takes his shot for Darby.
There we are. What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peep? I am Michael Caratanudo here on Pitchfork Lunch on this wonderful, wonderful Taco Tuesday for everybody. So I hope you're enjoying your lunch or tacos and jumping on in here to Pitchfork Lunch, as always, as we know. Mondays through Fridays, 12 to 1. You can check it out, at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, as yes, you all know that. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Yes, I know I always tell you that, but, might as well remind you. Every Friday, or every day, Monday through, every Friday, yes, definitely. But today is Tuesday, so that's always a good thing. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, my IG, the good old wonderful IG, Michael.Caratanudo.5. Yes, you can check the show live out there. And guess what, Pitchfork Lunchers? The YouTube channel. I don't know if I've ever told you about that. Just playing. I know I have. But yeah, very interesting day. You can go, on the YouTube, you can see the show live, but subscribe to the channel because you can go to YouTube and you see my name, Michael Caratanudo, but the page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe because, again, any con reviews That's what we call interviews around here, because they're more conversations. But any interviews you have missed, and you've missed quite a few. And again, they are just absolutely awesome. They are absolutely awesome. But you can go to YouTube and you can subscribe and you can catch up on all the conversations, interviews that you've missed, the con reviews, getting to know coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum. It's all there, and there's more to be had. So go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, watch live, but subscribe to the channel. Again, it's at Emmons and Michael V's and Victory C's and Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Plus, and I know I do remind you every day that you can, of course, always now listen to Pitchfork Lunch on the best internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Again, go to www.ksrnaz.com. Click listen. The page will open up, obviously. Click listen live, hit play Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Bam. Bam. There's Pitchfork Lunch. I mean, Casual E, again, so stoked we could be a part of the family and, spread the Sun Devil content out there to the, again, amazing people that, again, if you're listening to KSRN, and you should follow all their socials too. And I remind you guys of that because every day you want comprehensive coverage of the Suns, the D-backs, the Mercury, the Cardinals. Yeah, it's all there. Casual E has you covered in a huge way. In a huge way. So yeah, you want to get caught up, and obviously, yes, the trade deadline and the NBA passed and all the madness there, what didn't happen with the Suns. Casual E's got you covered. Cardinals, obviously now Super Bowl's over. Everybody's talking about the combine is next. So that is, again, absolutely awesome due to the fact that, let's see what the Cardinals do. But so yeah, he will have you all caught up there on the Casual Sports Radio Network. Subscribe to their socials. Again, just absolutely awesome. The coverage, like I said, Cardinals, Suns, D-backs, Mercury, and we get to hang out there to bring in the Sun Devil content on the Casual Sports Radio Network. So again, so stoked you can check us out there as well. And yeah, you're driving, again, don't watch and drive. Of course, you have the avenues to watch, but pay attention to the road. And like I say, your Sun Devils are smarter than that, so I know you would. But you can literally sit there and listen. Streaming through your Bluetooth. Again, www.ksrnaz.com. Streaming through your Bluetooth. Go live in your car, and then when you get to where you're going for lunch with your friends, it's Taco Tuesday. Hope they got a little spice in them. You can either watch or just keep listening, and everybody wins. All Sun Devil Nation does. So makes it very easy, but so stoked to be a part of the Casual Sports Radio Network. Yeah, so hey, anything going on? Sun Devil Country? Yes, I know. I always ask facetiously. But nonetheless, the Sun Devils hockey-wise are 13th in the pairwise. And it's they're 13th in the pairwise. Talked about that yesterday. Again, amazing series with Denver. I mean, both games go to overtime. Denver took Friday night. The Devils took Saturday night. Yeah. So again, NCHC this year, their first year in the conference, having a chance to win it. But yeah, I mean, look, what they're doing in the NCHC, again, just absolutely awesome. Yeah, again, just absolutely awesome. Um, they battled to the end of the series, obviously, to the Sun Devils. And look, this hockey team just phenomenal. But we will hear from them today. And I know I said Lucas Sillinger. There was scheduling conflict that came up. It happens, practice. So we're gonna aim for next Tuesday to have Lucas Sillinger. So just want to throw that out there. I know I told you yesterday, Pitchfork Lunchers, but yes. But we'll hear from Alex Hicks, assistant coach, because Coach Power is actually quite a bit under the weather. So not out of practice today. We'll hear from Coach Hicks, and then we'll also hear from Kyle Smolin and Ryan Kerwin. Yeah, so we will hear from them on the show. Again, as I get set to take on Minnesota Duluth, who we'll get to the standings. Like I said, they've already played Minnesota Duluth, and again, just like Denver, second time around. You're in a conference now, and Coach Hicks brought up a really great point today. Yeah, and we'll hear from them about that. But yeah, Minnesota Duluth, and then Western Michigan and Omaha. So I mean, this is a stretch, man, and they're 13th in the pairwise, and this is a team. Again, you win your conference, and you're an automatic qualifier. So, and we know they're 3 points away there. So, look, my Sun Devil, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps, this is going to be very exciting, and the numbers these guys have put up, again, just the consistency. And yes, it does suck to have lost Benji Eckerly. Like I said, because he obviously just the leader is on this team. And we'll hear, Kyle Smolin and Ryan Kerwin talking about what, again, how he's still involved. And Coach Power said he would be, but his involvement and just, staying upbeat. So we'll hear from that. We'll hit hockey. Women's hoops wise, like I said, we'll hear from Coach Natasha Adair again after that. Still has to figure out that puzzle of the Wildcats, but yes, we shall. Um, but yeah, look, I mean, has to figure out the puzzle of Arizona. Yes, we know that, but it's still one of those things where, where you need to get that done, right? I mean, so that's yes, rivals, and yeah, like I said, and everything. You know, it comes down to winning, but the whole rivalry. I mean, everything is just it's just wow. But yeah, I mean, and now next up for hoops again. I mean, they're at UCF tonight. Is that tonight or tomorrow? I can tell you. Hold on, they're in Central Florida. They're at Central Florida. That I do know. As yeah, they're outside. Oh, that's tomorrow at 5 p.m. That is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow at 5 p.m. At UCF, and they come home Saturday at 2. Breast cancer awareness game. So again, very always support women's hoops, but again, support breast cancer awareness. And that is they take on Utah. But yeah, I mean, this is a UCF team that. I mean, look, right now, UCF is. They are 8-14 overall, 1-11 in conference play. So yes, they've struggled. Yeah, they're 7-6 at home, 1-7 on the road. So, and you know, when we look at ASU women's hoops, I mean, 8-16 overall, 2-10 in conference play, but 5-6 at home, 1-8 on the road. So, but this is a game that if you play like you've been playing, and like I said, we'll hear from Coach Natasha Adair. But they're competing, and I mean that game against Arizona, it's right there, and then all of a sudden, just down the stretch, a few plays, and yeah, they were a little short on the bench, but still, I mean, played a hell of a game in Tucson, a crowd that is very. Again, very loud and very into their hoops, as we know down there, right? Not just the men's and women's hoops, but yeah, so they have a chance, you know, like I said, to beat UCF and do some damage. So we'll get to that. Also, on the men's hoop side, they are headed to Lubbock. To take on at Texas Tech. Obviously, that's who's in Lubbock. I know you smart people know that. 12-11 now after that tough shorthanded loss to Oklahoma State. But I mean, they battled. That is a game you can, you know, Coach Hurley's talked about the team, you know, having fight, believing, and they definitely, a lot of them could have put their heads in the sand and just been like, let's just go through the motions. But they battled. Oklahoma State was just a little too much in the end, with, you know, the Devils being that shorthanded. So that being said, it's one of those things where, you know, you're going to Texas Tech tomorrow night, and they're number 12 in the country. Yeah, pseudo buried the lead on that one, but yeah, they're number 12 in the country. And when you look at it, Texas Tech being 12 in the country, obviously going to be a big challenge, as we know, as they are 9-3 in conference, 18-5 overall. I want to say Arizona actually jumped 7 spots. They're number 13 now in the country. But Texas Tech, like I said, third in the Big 12, behind Houston and Arizona. ASU right now, again, 3-9 in conference, 12-11 overall. You have teams like Oklahoma State, UCF, Cincinnati at 4-8. At 4-8. But yeah, I mean, like Coach Rose said today, I heard him on the radio talking, and they got practice today, but they got 8 games left. Oh, Adam Miller and BJ Freeman, because Adam Miller, obviously the fighting boiled over. Adam Miller will be back tomorrow against Texas Tech, as will BJ Freeman. Both were, at the facilities yesterday. They're going to have practice today, like Coach said, and they're just going to head over to Lubbock. So that's, again, very awesome to get those 2 back. Jaden Quaintance, obviously, ankle injury. He is out again, which is, I say again in a bummed way, because of what this young man has done. And I know I've talked about it, guys. I know you've hit me up in the comments, but you've seen it too. And a lot of you, hit me up on X or Twitter. And, it's just to watch him where he started the season. Obviously he's 17 years old, to where he's going. Man, just again, absolutely awesome. He obviously had the talent, but I mean, at 17 to adjust the way he has, I mean, the block shots, and you talk about obviously scoring points. And I mention this when I talk about him all the time, but you always hear, when players describing other players, and it's not just like, oh, we have to find some state, but like filling up the stat sheet and things that, people aren't really going to talk about. I mean, you're going to talk about block shots, but I mean, block shots lead to change shots and changing shots, all that insanity. So the fact that he's going to be out again is a bummer. But I mean, again, Joe Santa's more and more each game. He didn't shoot the best last game at Oklahoma State, but getting his legs back under him, and that's what we love to see. Just again, seeing in games, seeing a little bit out at practice, like it's getting there. And we know obviously how good Santa, this young man, can shoot, right? We know this. But, you look at that, and obviously with BJ and Alston Mason, hello. Yeah, when he's needed to get downhill and score, get in the lane, got to have more scoring in the paint. Yes, you can take, everybody's going to get their threes in this day and age, and we know it. But Alston Mason, what he's doing again, and, dishing the ball, and even, Bobby Hurley Jr. playing against Oklahoma State. Look, and I'm not just saying it Homer show because it's coach's son, but like got an offensive rebound, a putback, played, solid defense, and just was on the court for those minutes. Again, team missing players, a few more get banged up, and you're just like, okay. I thought Coach Hurley might see if he could if they let him put a uniform on if it came down to it. No, again, it's not bad news bear style, but again, it is frustrating when you're in rotation. But I mean, Bashir Jihad, out there for the game, and then Sean Phillips Jr. played well, but again, just trying to be physical. And Oklahoma State was physical. I mean, if you watch the game, they had some bodies down low that were banging around. So, but getting him the ball on the offensive end in the paint more, especially with JQ out, that's something that I think we should look to see hoops wise for ASU. All right. So I'm actually going to go to break. When we get back, we are going to hear from Alex Hicks who's the associate coach for Coach Power, has been with the program quite a long time. This is his 11th year as an assistant. Obviously, a wealth of hockey knowledge. Coach Hicks is he played in his college hockey at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire from 88 to 92. He was a 3-time team MVP, 3-time All-American, Hockey Coaches Association first team All-American. He still holds the School and Northern Collegiate Hockey Association career record for goals, assists, and points. He scored 249 points as a Bulldog from 88 to 92 with 98 goals, 151 assists. His career point total still ranked 14th in NCAA Division III history, and he is one of only 3 NCHA players listed among the top 25 all-time scorers. He recorded a hat trick 7 times during his 116 collegiate career games. So pretty money. He's got the experience there. I mean, he did play 5 years in the NHL, 258 games between the Ducks, the Penguins, the Sharks, and the Panthers. So, yeah. Got 25 goals, 54 assists, and 2 seasons he reached the playoffs with the Penguins, 2 seasons with the Penguins and 1 with the Panthers. So he played in Europe. I mean, again, just very, very solid coach. But yeah, we'll hear from Coach Hicks, and then we'll hear from Kyle Smolin and Ryan Kerwin as well. So I'm going to step aside so we can do that because, again, we want to talk hockey. I want you to hear it from them, and we can go back and forth on that because, again, brought up a lot of good things earlier. So we shall step aside real quick and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming up.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is...
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it?
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use. Are you good?
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McCollum.
Bird gang. I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those of you checking us out live on the Casual Sports Radio Network, KSRN, you are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, hands down. I am Michael Carratunuto at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You can see the show live there every day as well, too, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, Michael.Carratunuto.5. The YouTube channel, which you should watch live and subscribe to, at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And yes, like I said, on the Casual Sports Radio Network, the great KSRN, www.ksrnaz.com. So, hey, like I told you before break, I promised you before break, let's get out to hockey, man. Let's hear more from hockey as, again, Coach Powers, hey, team's got to still practice, man. Coach very much under the weather and headed to Minnesota Duluth, so obviously wants to be able to be with the team there. But, but the team, again, good practice today. And like I said, we will hear from associate coach Alex Hicks. And again, this is 11th season with the program. I telling you before the break, obviously very experienced. But just talking about obviously wrapping up the Denver series and headed to Minnesota Duluth and just overall how this team is playing. And but let's hear from Coach Hicks because, again, he's got the 411 for you.
When you coach up this power play, what has changed from the first half to the second half?
I think just continuity with the players. You bring a bunch of new guys in and you're trying to replace Copperhead, which is a tough task to do, and then trying to replace Lovell, and just to get those guys on the same page and get them believing in each other, and I think they've done a great job.
What can you say about the talent level on this year's power play compared to years past?
Well, they're different, obviously Copperhead was an elite shooter, and Timmy did his thing with being able to skate in circles around everybody. So, but with the guys we have now, you have a Potter and a Lucius and a Beck, and Beck can shoot it. So it's, and then we got a good net front guy in Shimmick and Kerwin. It's just a completely different look. We kind of set up the same way, but the skill sets that they have are completely different than what we had last year. But I wouldn't compare that one is better than the other. It's just a different skill set for each of the guys.
with the two games, obviously two very emotional, fast-paced games, back and forth. How do you guys keep the guys on the bench, locked in and not get caught up in the moment?
Well, it's difficult because we they're human, and us as coaches get caught up in the moment as well. So we want to just have their energy high and their focus high. I think the biggest thing was when we tied it up 5-5 on Saturday is just be like, okay, take a breath here. Let's not do anything stupid and make a mistake. So just quick reminders like that on the bench. Also, I think Coach Powers did a great job Saturday when we were down 5-3 of just continuing with the message and continuing to tell the guys to play the right way, and we're going to win, and we ultimately did.
Coach, you've been here for a while now, and now you look at this team. Where does this team rank in terms of excitement for you going down the stretch and what they could do in the future?
Well, it's you don't want to poo-poo the past teams, but this is really exciting, and I think part of that is having the conference play. Normally we're kind of on a downhill trend right now, just trying to survive and not lose to a Lindenwood or something like that where it'll wreck our season. Now we're playing great teams every weekend, and nothing's going to change. Playing Duluth on the road and then coming back and playing Western, we just haven't had that in the past. And so to have this team with this much talent and continue to play teams that are better and better each week is really exciting. So to motivate them for practice, even when Coach Powers wasn't here today, to see their excitement and see their commitment level because they know what's at stake and they know how exciting it is, it's been really good.
Sillinger's finding a stride now. What have you seen from him as of late to turn his kind of season around?
Well, I think that he's it's his 5th year of college, and I think he comes back and there's a bunch of new guys and new faces, and he's probably just trying to settle in a little bit the first half, but he was playing well. But now he's getting some goals, and when that happens, your confidence goes up and your excitement to come to the rink goes up. And I said when he got his first goal, I think I told Powers in the moment that I think he's going to end up with 10 or 12 goals, and it looks like he's trending that way. So he's a great player. We let him play. He's really improved on his defensive side of it and with his turnovers and things like that. But I think the way we've let him play and use his skill and his head for the last 3 years, it's really paying dividends for us now because he trusts us and we definitely trust him. So being that good of a player, he's just feeling it, and hopefully we can keep riding him.
What have you seen from Duluth so far when you look at what their season has and you guys faced them back in December? Well,
Duluth, in my opinion, is always a notoriously slow starting team for whatever reason. If you look at their national championship teams, they were just above 500, most of the season. They're well coached. I really like their head coach. They got a great staff and they work hard, and he's demanding on them, and playing in that place is no joke. So we know what we're going into. We know that they're good. We know they can win games. We know they can beat anybody. It's just a matter of convincing our guys of that, and I think they'll believe us when we tell them that. So we're excited to go, but we know it's going to be a challenge and it's going to be difficult.
You guys are 13th in the pairwise right now. What needs to kind of happen as a safety net if you don't get the automatic bid to ensure that you're kind of in a comfy for an at-large bid?
I think you just have to keep kind of winning at the rate that we are, and I don't know what our percentage would be, 64% or 66. I don't know what it is, but just what do we got? 6 games left, yeah. So you probably got to win 4 or 6, give or take. Looking at, let's just keep winning. Let's win Friday, and if we win Friday, let's win Saturday, and then everything will take care of itself. So it's kind of a one game at a time, one series at a time kind of thing.
What were some things that you were taking from the previous series when you met with Duluth and taking it to now?
Well, we looked at some film for sure, and we're definitely going to make some adjustments on how they play. They play a really good style and a hard style to play against, and so we definitely worked on a few things out there today that we're going to change a little bit, and hopefully it pays off for us.
How do you think that hard style of play translates to the penalty kill? I know they struggled a bit on it, but what have you seen from them in that area?
From our penalty kill or theirs?
Their penalty kill.
Sometimes when you play as hard as they do, sometimes you get out of position because you're working so hard, and that's what they always say. You got to work hard, but you got to work smart. we're expecting it to be very difficult to go there and score on their penalty kill, no matter what the stats say. Like I said, they get better and better as the year goes by because they're so well coached, and Sandy does such a great job. So whatever we've seen the first time they were here, they're going to be improved on that, probably tenfold. So we're expecting to go in there and have a difficult time. The goal for our power play, I tell the guys, is we got to figure out a way to get a goal a game. If we can do that, we're usually successful. If we get 7 power plays, 1 is still successful. If we get 2, we still need 1. So 1 goal. So that's the goal, and we've been pretty consistent doing that.
When you talk, obviously playing teams again and being in conference, so with that this year, not that obviously you haven't played teams again before, but you mentioned like watching tape, but the challenge in that, the kind of the advantage, like disadvantage with playing the teams a second time.
I think it's an advantage, if you will, for both teams. You kind of know their personnel, like they've got some good freshmen, they got the Plant brothers that are incredible players. So that was the first time we saw them, the last time we played. So we know what they're capable of. We know their speed. If you can remember just how many times they went wide a few of their players and beat our defensemen. So we're aware of that now. And our defensemen, when they go out, they're going to say, that guy's really fast. I better make sure I have a good gap. So with that being said, both teams, they're going to know what our game's like. So they're going to make adjustments off of that. They're going to understand, what our power play does or how we kill. So it's an advantage for both teams. It's a little bit of a chess match, but ultimately it comes down to who executes the best, and that's who's going to win.
Coach, it was a pretty brand new roster coming in with a lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen as well, but are there a couple of players, maybe 1 or 2, that have really exceeded your expectations so far this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have done really well. I think Bozer's done a great job on the back end. I can't wait to see that kid develop once he gets strong and spends a few summers here lifting weights. So he's done a great job. I think, our transfers, like Shimmick has done an unbelievable job. His leadership, the little intangibles that most of the fans or the media wouldn't see that he brings has been incredible. Ryan Kerwin's been a breath of fresh air, just very laid back and just so chill, if I could use that word, and just an incredible player. Beck's been the same thing. He's a much better player, much better all-around player than I thought he would be. No disrespect to him, but just what I can see the ceiling for him is a possible NHL player there. So there's guys I'm missing out, obviously, but everybody's really meshed well, and I think the team really loves each other and want to play for each other. So I'm looking forward to the next 6 weeks here.
Last few. In the final stretch of the season, what are some things you guys are still trying to tighten up on and improve on?
Always defensive zone. You can never get that. You can never be perfect in the defensive zone. So we worked on it again today. We've been working on it consistently. I think Mike Corbett, our new coach, has done a great job with those guys with a few different drills. And then forechecking as well. I think that's probably been something we haven't been great at, and we continue to work on that again today. And so those 2 things, the D-zone coverage and the forecheck, I think if we can continue to get better at those, then good things are going to happen.
Where do you stand on an injury standpoint with Dylan Jackson?
I'm not sure. We haven't talked with I stay out of that place. So we'll see how he goes. I know that he's progressing, but we just want him to be ready for the stretch drive. So, but I don't have a different answer for you.
All right.
And you see right there, Coach X again. Hey, next man up, next coach up right now. But all seriousness, Coach talking about right there how he got and that's why I asked him about second time playing teams, seeing a conference play, because when they were independent, there were times they had they would see a team like, say, Alaska Fairbanks or Alaska Anchorage, here, and then they would play 2 games there later in the season. But when you're in conference play, as we know, as I'm overstating the obvious for all of you, but when you're in conference play, like the NCHC, it's one of those things where, that's why, again, I always, in different sports, I'll get coaches' takes on that playing team the second time. I mean, in college football, think about that. You can't even play everybody in your conference once, let alone twice. So, but I mean, you think of pro football, basketball, obviously. I mean, you do play everybody twice at least, even in the Eastern Conference. But it's just that, what Eastern Western Conference. But nonetheless, I digress to what Coach Hicks was saying right there is that, it's you can look at film and, knowing somebody's speed and knowing what they do. And he even answered the question before about their, them taking penalties. And he's like, yeah, they're working hard and you're just, again, getting it just a teeny bit out of position, and teams have had success on the power play against them. So, but when we look at standings real quick, again, Minnesota Duluth is 6-10 in conference play. They're 10-15-1 overall. The last time the Devils played Minnesota Duluth here, I was going to say they're going there. They wouldn't have to go there twice. People are about to message me and be like, what? Why are they going there twice? No, last time they played Minnesota Duluth here, they won 5-3. They got an empty netter, and then back on December 6th, they won 5-3, and then they won 3-2 in overtime on Saturday, December 7th. So, yes. Yeah, on Saturday, December 7th. So that in and of itself, again, you sweep them here on your home ice, they're going to be looking to return the favor. But it's a team that, like I said, has struggled. When talked about it with Miami of Ohio, because again, in the standings, Miami of Ohio's, 16-0 in conference play, and they're 321-2 overall. So, so you look at that for Minnesota Duluth and what this team has to do, and it's, like I said, after that, Western Michigan and Omaha, the two teams that you're looking, you're even with Omaha points wise. 37, Western Michigan's got 40. So yeah, but yeah, Coach Hick's talking there. I mean, he's talking about guys like and Lucas Sellinger. Again, we will catch up with him, but yeah, his fifth year. I mean, he's coming on and Lucas Sillinger's got 7 goals now. And I mean, just obviously crushing it in assists. 21 assists. So, like I said, he's been getting the puck to guys, and now he's gotten opportunities lately, like Coach Hicks is talking about right there, putting the puck away. So it's just, again, feeding guys, and that's, when you're feeding guys and again, players get teams, they'll look and they'll see tendencies, and not that he can't shoot or didn't want to, but, they're thinking, oh, he's going to pass. They might start to cheat a certain way. Give him a little bit of an opening, get a shot, get a goal. It's, so, but the way these lines are playing, I mean, and like I said, yeah, losing Benji Eckerly and obviously Dylan Jackson, coach was asked about him there. He said, yeah, we want him to be good for the stretch run. So no updates there yet. But speaking of players, let's hear from Kyle Smolin. Line mates. They were line mates this last week against Denver. Ryan Kerwin on the left wing, Kyle Smolin on the right wing, and Artem Schlane at the center. So on that first line. But yes, let's hear from Kyle Smolin and Ryan Kerwin after practice today. Again, about Denver, getting ready for Duluth, the stretch run where they're at. And yes, how Benji Eckerly is as a coach. You will find that very interesting.
Duluth for the second time. What did they bring to the table in the first series that you're now using here for the second time?
Yeah, I think they're a good team. They're physical, they're fast, and I think we just got to play our game and just bring it to them.
Smolin, you're kind of all over the ice against Denver. How did you feel your game was playing?
Really well. When you get kicked in the teeth, you want to respond, and we did Friday night, and we really wanted the second game, and I think we all earned it. So.
How do you guys carry that momentum into this weekend after showing that much resilience against Denver?
I think just reminding each other that that's a standard and that it can't slip. If we want to be a championship team, we got to hold that standard and be true to it the rest of the year.
Ryan, two highly intensive, emotional games, a lot of back and forth action. How do you guys as a locker room kind of decompress after a series like that?
Yeah, I think we learned from it, right? I mean, that's what hockey's about. You're having fun, and those were two really fun games. And I think we're just going to try and keep that energy we brought the second night, especially the second and third period. I thought we brought it. We were great out there, so try and learn from that and just keep that up for the rest of the season.
Coach mentioned how imperative it was on the bench, how Lucas Sillinger kind of got really emotional and very into the game. Did you guys see that, and did that kind of push you guys to go to another level?
Yeah, for sure. Still's a great leader. He's somebody we all look up to, and he's such a special player, special talent. But he works so hard. He's at the rink until 1 p.m. every single day, right? So I mean, he's here all the time, and he just loves hockey. So we feed off of him, and it's great to see him get intense like that.
For both of you guys, I mean, being in conference play, I was asking Coach, like, you see these teams a second time, whether you lost to them or beat them. There's always that factor. But what do you feel like the advantage or disadvantages when you're playing the teams a second time in a second series?
I'd say once you see a team once, you kind of know their play style and you can prepare for it mentally better. When you haven't seen a team, you haven't seen their team speed and what they're about. It's kind of hard to get ready for it. You can watch all the film you want, but until you're in it, it doesn't give you that advantage. So I would just say that, and then I think the only thing we need to get better at that we didn't do very well in the first series was creating quality opportunities and getting to their goalie. So if we can do that and we can stick to our what we did against Denver this weekend, I think we'll be all right.
Kyle, going into the Denver series, the PK was really good. You guys had a little bit of a down weekend. How do you get back to where it was, and maybe what did Denver do well that you guys have to correct?
I mean, they're a good team. At the end of the day, we are down a guy, and they know how to score. We just gotta watch the tape, figure out what we did wrong, and just do what we do. Really, we kind of got away a little bit from our intensity a bit, and we kind of got all over the place and lost in a lot of the structure. I think we just got to get back to our mentality.
For either of you guys, how does a series like the one you just played kind of prepare yourselves for the kinds of teams you might see later in the postseason?
Yeah, Denver's a great team. They had basically everything, right? Speed, grit. So they bring a lot to the table, and I think it just helps us with our confidence. We can match up with them, and we play our game, and we're one of the best teams in the country, we think, and I think that we play like that, we're gonna beat anybody. So.
With the race for the conference kind of coming down to the wire here in the last couple of weeks, how important is it for you guys to take each series game by game and not look too far ahead?
Yeah, it's kind of on a shift basis at this point. It's really tight, which means we can't take a shift off. Can't take a game off. You can't let off the gas, otherwise they'll catch you. So it's just about keeping our foot to the pedal to the metal and just keep going.
Kyle, for you, I know you're really close with Benji. How was it, getting that news of the sad news that he'd be out, and how was that kind of changed you personally?
Yeah, it was tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I took it a little hard at first, seeing him in the training room after it happened. I didn't really know what to think, and it's a good thing you have a team with 20 brothers to be able to pick you up and to help you play. I mean, you never want to see 1, your best friend, 2, your leader, and 3, a teammate go down like that when he cares so much about everyone and then the logo as well. So to see him go down, it was tough. I'm not going to lie, it was hard, but at the end of the day, I do have to pick it up and find a way to move on. And he's still vocal, he's still a leader, he's still helping us. He's still helping us in our PK video. He just led our PK video, actually, in fact, trying to teach us on how to get better. So having him around still is imperative. And it was tough, but we're going to get through it, and he's going to help us get to the finish line. So,
kind of building off that, Powers mentioned that he's going to be like a player coach for now. For both of you, how's his coaching job been?
It's been good. Today was impressive. It's pretty good. Yeah, he's a smart kid.
I get a lot of crap from him, so. But he's awesome. He cares so much. He just wants what's best for all of us, and the fact that he has such positive spirits, it brings a lot to the room. And he could be just a Debbie Downer and be all sad about it, which a lot of people in this world would, but not him. He's a leader in every way, and the way he carries himself, it lifts the team up. So.
Ryan, for you, Coach mentioned now with him being out, you're going to play a lot of more 5-on-6 and also more PK. How does that advance and responsibility affect your game?
Yeah, I think just stepping up to the role. He was imperative in those opportunities, but just like Smoley said, we got to step up now. So I'm ready for it, and ready to help the team win any way possible.
Can't wait to see him block a shot.
When you get there.
You guys are 13th in the pairwise right now. Do you feel like that's really, I guess, indicative of where you stand as far as rankings in the country? Do you feel like you're the 13th best team?
No, I mean, pairwise is what it is. But like just how we feel about ourselves, no, we don't think we're 13th. And I bet you could ask the teams above us, teams below us, they think the same thing. So, we just got to keep improving game by game, and focus on that. It's in the back of your mind, but at the same time, you went out, you have a good record here down the stretch, you're going to be in a good spot.
What do you feel like an accurate ranking would be to where you stand in the country?
I can't put a number to it. I think our play speaks for itself, and anyone could put a number on it, but at the end of the day, we think we're one of the best teams in the country, if not one of the best, if not the best team in the country. Every time we step on the ice, and that's our attitude every game. And we believe we can beat anybody at any moment as long as we're doing the right things and we're playing to our standard. We think it's just a number at the end of the day. So we have to go out and prove it every night. So.
Anything else?
Kyle, on Saturday, what was the idea behind the goal celebration?
Yeah, what was up with that one?
I honestly don't know. It kind of went dark, but you got to make it look pretty, I guess, even the greasy one. So
that was a good question.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
And there you see Kyle Smolin and Ryan Kerwin. And yeah, it's a celebration. Hey, it is what it is. You score, you beat a team like that. And I mentioned, and Coach Hicks obviously mentioned Bennett Shimmick, who again just had one hell of a series. Got the tying goal with the extra skater on Friday night. Shared it with you guys when I was there. Absolutely awesome. And then Saturday night, it's gets the OT winner. So it's just. Yeah. And look, like these, that's why I asked them too, playing Minnesota Duluth again, but with the Benji Eckerly, you heard it right there. He's kind of hard on Kyle Smolin. But yeah, Smolin and him obviously very close and taking the news hard there. So it's it is tough. But yeah, he's in there leading, penalty kill, leading obviously if he's doing it, he's on the ice playing, but yeah, so Kyle Smolin said, yeah, he's hard on me, but, he's for Ryan Curran, obviously, but he's like very smart and, engaged. And I like what Kyle Smolin there. A lot of players could be down and, kind of just be around the team and, be around the team, but just not jumping that in depth because you're not playing, you're not getting on the ice. And it's an unfortunate injury to overstate the obvious. Pitchfork Luncher sucks. But yeah, what this team has done the first year in the NCAA, what they've done, since, again, they've started, but, as Division I, but in the NCHC, their first tournament appearances in 2019, we are wanting another postseason appearance and the way they've played. But, you heard like it there from, Smolin and Kerwin that just, this is a team that can, again, get the job very, very much done. and the way they've mixed lines, talked about it. I mean, yeah, you want to build the continuity and the chemistry. You got guys on the line, but it's very, yeah, it's very, it's exciting to say the least, but defensively, and again, seeing what they can do offensively, it's just, yeah, absolutely awesome. So, but yeah, hey, that's going to do it for today's show. We'll get to Coach Adair tomorrow. I promise. Got to hockey, got going. It goes by fast, my Pitchfork Lunchers. It goes by fast. So, anywho, everybody have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. And again, I hope there's a little spice in them, but have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. Again, at Diablo00 on X, also known as Twitter. Shows live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, Michael.Caratuno.5. The YouTube at Amazon, Michael V is in Victory, C is in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. And of course, on KSRN. Again, go to www.ksrnaz.com. The best internet radio station on the web is there, ksrnaz.com. And check it out. But again, everybody have a most phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow. And yes, hashtag our state. Thank you to the Big 12 champs women's volleyball. And I will say that every day because first year in the Big 12 and they're champs along with football. But yes, hashtag our state. And yes, as always, you guys know it. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great play.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
For a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. But Adair, they won't get him. Wow!
Edwards pulls up and buries the flag.
Shot for